Welcome to hell.
Welcome to This Week in Cuckada, December 8th, 2024.
Last
This week
episode
it's
was
getting
brutal.
worse. I mean, it's not going to be worse than last week because last week was like the 2-month, like sped up disintegration of the country. That being said, the humiliation is getting fucking real in this country. The humiliation rituals are fucking brutal. We're sitting here now like we're going to get into the Trump versus Trudeau controversy.
Let's go.
Where Trump's putting the prime minister through these brutal humiliation rituals where he's sitting Trudeau next to his biggest haters that support Pierre Poilievre at the dinner. And they're all making fun of him and shit to his face and saying they're going to annex Canada and it's going to be the 51st state. And then Mexico is shitting on us. Like, it's bad when Mexico is shitting on us and saying we're the problem. Mexico's throwing us under the bus. And then every conservative in this country has officially shot a fucking brick over Trump's announcements of the tariffs and are now begging on their knees for President Trump not to felt us. Like, we've got Harrison Faulkner and Doug Ford out here pleading with Trump to have a heart, to have some fucking mercy. It's like, this is what we deserve. Bite down on the pillow and take it.
It's over. It's over.
It's fucking over. We're not even going to get maple syrup as lube when Daddy Trump's fucking orange Cheeto Peter is inserted into our fucking leaf bungholes there. It's brutal. But you know what's even more brutal? Americans can't even comprehend. Like, they think the Second Amendment is under attack. Gun rights are under attack. They're taking our guns. Well, welcome to the real hell, folks.
Yes.
Welcome to the real hell where your guns are taken away at the stroke of a pen and given to Zelensky in Ukraine. And you say, that can't be true. Let me explain to you how it works. Now, I've explained this a few times before on the show. For people who are new, we have what's called in Canada the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. This is our version of the FBI.
Just sounds a lot more gay.
Yeah, they're like the federal police, and they serve as the state police in every province other than Quebec and Ontario, which have their own state or provincial police. Now, the RCMP in this country has the authority to unilaterally, with a stroke of a pen, make any gun attachment, or modification illegal. So you're a law-abiding citizen. You just bought a gun.
Yeah.
The very next day, the government can tell you it's illegal with no notice and arrest you.
Do they refund you the money?
You wake up, well, not totally. So what's going to happen is, so let's go into it. Let's have them explain the plan. But just imagine if you were an American, you bought a gun, you wake up, and the next fucking day you're a criminal. And the government is telling you if you don't turn in your guns by a certain date, you're going to prison Canada, for the rest of your life.
Fuck Canada.
But what was literally legal yesterday, a gun totally legal and legitimate, has now been declared too violent.
And they give it to Ukraine?
Yes, and the guns are being given to Ukraine. The reason why is, once the conservatives come into power, they might give you back your gun. So we have to
give it away fast.
And coincidentally, the deadline to turn it in is 1 week before the election.
No.
So you have to turn it in. There's no hope of Pierre saving you. You have to just turn it in.
What the
fuck? Yeah, it's just insane.
That's evil. That is actually... Sorry, I just choked on my spit there. That's actually evil, dude. How do they... I hate Trudeau so much. I hate him. I hate him.
The thing is, these aren't like machine guns or anything like that. These are hunting rifles.
Yeah, the rifles
that are used for hunting and shit.
Where is it? Where?
And you have to. You gotta understand. In Canada, you have to get a license. You have to get what's called a possession and acquisition license.
Yeah.
Are you in the Cuckada folder?
Yes.
Hold on.
That's the last one. Sorry. Wow, we got 2 main show folders there.
So yes. Sorry. So you have to. We got to clean this up. But you have to get in Canada in order to even be able to purchase a firearm.
Okay.
You have to go through. I believe it's a 40-hour training course.
Okay.
And you have to pass a written test and a practical examination showing that you know how to safely use the firearm.
Yo, Ash, it's crazier. I had a friend who has weapons, right? Probably taken away now. But whenever he went to the range, he would have to call and literally give the map of every direction. Left here, left on Dundas, onto the 401, going off here. If you take a wrong turn and you're in the wrong road, when they pull you over, you're under arrest.
You're going to be arrested.
And
he might have had an RPAL.
Yeah.
So the possession and acquisition license allows you to buy most standard rifles, shotguns, things like this, bolt action rifles, and stuff like that. If you want a handgun, you have to get what's called the restricted possession and acquisition license, which is very, very hard to get.
Yeah.
It's an arduous process. It sometimes takes years to get. And then you will be allowed to purchase a handgun. But understand that you will never be allowed to carry it with you. You will never be allowed to use it even for home defense.
If your home is raided, you can't even use it.
And any of your restricted class weapons must be kept in a safe, locked at all times. And the only way to take it out of the safe is to write, as you were just saying, the commissioner for firearms, I forget the exact office that it is. You have to write them and ask permission to remove it from the safe and where you're going to take it to shoot it at the firing range, what your plans are. You have to detail the whole travel.
Everything.
This is how guns work in Canada. Now, a lot of people are of the opinion in America that we don't have any guns at all. That's not the case. Canada actually has more guns than pretty much any other country besides the United States. But the guns are at the whim of our version of the FBI. So this is like the ATF on steroids. They can just make anything illegal overnight. So no law was passed. No new legislation was passed. This guy just comes on the TV and he just announces that you're a criminal now.
Yeah.
For the gun that you legitimately purchased, what might have been yesterday, a month ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And these guns that they keep banning, it's not any sort of functional aspect of the gun. It's not that it fires at a quicker rate or it has a certain type of ammo that's dangerous. It's purely that they're aesthetically scary looking.
Yeah.
It's that they are black instead of wooden.
Yikes,
and so
racism.
They look military style. So let's just play this. This is fucked.
All right.
Today, the government is adding a further 324 unique makes and models.
324?
Yeah, so it's not like we learned, there's this one model that we overlooked that's really dangerous. And we can't. No, it's, I guess we just allowed 324 insanely deadly fucking military weapons to be sold in this country up until today.
That's ridiculous.
The country didn't just fucking collapse, like there's not like mass shootings every fucking day, people dying from guns every fucking day. This is not even the case.
Yeah, or like a militia that forms against the government or
trying
something.
To overthrow, then we have to ban these weapons. It's just, we woke up today and 324 new types of guns are fucking banned and you're now a criminal.
What the fuck?
Even though you've gone through a licensing process, all your guns are fucking registered. You have to, maintain it according to the government standards or potentially go to prison. You can't be trusted. In no way is this going to curb crime at all. Do you want to know why? Because criminals don't register their guns. Criminals don't, All right, go on, tell us.
Of assault-style firearms to the list of prohibited firearms in Canada. This prohibition takes effect immediately.
The word prohibition, I love how
this means these firearms can no longer...
There are 3 classes. There's PAL class, RPAL class, and then prohibited, which nobody is allowed to have except... Well, I'll just let him explain.
Okay.
Be legally used, sold, or imported in Canada, and can only be transferred or transported under extremely limited circumstances. The government has introduced an amnesty that is currently in force and expires on October 30th, 2025.
I love how they frame this. There's an amnesty. So you're a criminal overnight. You're a filthy, dirty criminal, but we'll amnesty you until a week before the election. So realize you're a piece of shit for even owning this. You're a criminal, but we'll grant you some mercy and amnesty. We don't have to grant you this amnesty. We could just scoop you up in the middle of the night. That's what the thing is. This is why, if you're a political dissident in Canada, I'm not sure how wise it would even be to own a fucking firearm.
Yeah.
Because the government could say your particular type of firearm, which they know you have because it's registered to you, is illegal. And then at midnight the next day, roll up and just fucking arrest you. They could technically do that. You have no protections. You have no rights.
That's fucking freaky, dude. The amnesty.
You have till a week
You're
before
welcome,
the next
peasants.
election.
This is like, you're welcome, peasants. Are you kidding me?
To protect individuals who legally purchased these firearms prior to the ban. This amnesty period will protect these individuals from criminal liability as they take steps to come
Well, thank you, my good sir.
Oh,
Shall I shine your shoes now? Holy!
It's kind of fucked up.
It's like, fuck.
Compliance with the law.
You may as well start getting your citizenship to America. You may as well.
It's too late. They don't want it.
Yeah, they don't want us.
It's too late. Daddy Trump,
please,
save me.
Make us an annexed state, please.
The amnesty period, there is
Not
an exception
happening.
to allow Indigenous peoples
So
exercising a...
Wait.
Native Americans are allowed to keep their guns. So you, white man, must surrender them.
No.
But those of you who are Indigenous and Native are allowed to keep them.
What the
Ain't
fuck?
that a kick in the... It ain't that nice?
I swear, when you said just wait, I thought cops, off-duty police officers. I thought maybe ex-military, ex-military or government officials. Natives, which by the way are the
Indigenous
most drunk,
people,
blackout,
scary
crazy
people. Crazy. But they're allowed to keep any gun. They can have prohibited class, doesn't matter.
Huh, that seems
They're
fair.
also allowed to hunt without tags. They can kill as many animals as they want. Whereas you will be limited to 2 deer. You might get 2 tags.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The way it is.
Right under Section 35
Thank God they're too blackout drunk 90% of the time to do anything, eh?
of the Constitution, as well as those who use firearms.
Is this real? Is this actually?
No, it's actually great. But people are like, oh, but surely sending it to Zelensky isn't true in the Ukraine. That's far. Well, just keep listening.
For sustenance hunting to continue to use their now prohibited firearms to hunt, if previously non-restricted, until a suitable replacement can be found. As with the previous list of firearms, these models will, of course, be part of the assault-style firearms compensation program. And to that end, I'm pleased to point out
Guys,
are going
good
to
news.
compensate you half of the value of your purchase.
That the pilot program of phase
So,
one.
yeah, you're not going to get all your money back. You're going to get, like, you know,
they're
pennies
robbing.
on the dollar. Yeah, they're just stealing your property. Some people, you know, they do these gun buybacks where people are turning in their firearms for a freezy or an ice cream cone. Weapons cost thousands of dollars. They go, well, we'll give you a freezy.
What do you mean freezy?
Like a freeze pop. Like a Mr. Freeze. Or like an Otter Pop.
No,
Some
I know
people
what they
call
are.
it.
But what?
Yeah, so your compensation for turning in your gun.
Surely it's a box of freezies.
No, it's not even the big one. It's the little one.
No. No, you're kidding.
No, I'm not even joking. I've seen this where it's like fucking mass shooting that happened in Nova Scotia years ago. People were turning in their guns for freezies, and they were getting like a freeze pop like this fucking big. Like,
what the fuck? I swear I can't even.
For their fucking $5,000 weapon.
You're being serious.
No, I'm serious. Yeah.
The gun buyback program is now underway. The program will be open for all businesses in the coming days. As part of that process, the government of Canada has committed to the Ukrainian government to identify whether some of these guns could be donated to support the fight for democracy in Ukraine. My colleague, Bill Blair.
Again, this is not gilding the lily at all. This is not exaggerating how bad it is. Our guns are being confiscated with minimal payment to us and sent to Ukraine, to Zelensky, so that there's no opportunity for us to ever get our guns back, even if Pierre gets in. Because, oops, sorry, they're in Ukraine.
What the fuck are we doing here?
We'll speak on this in a few moments. In addition to banning these guns, we're also taking action on the regulatory front. Next Friday, December 13th, we will table regulations to ensure that no firearm can come into Canada or be sold in Canada without first being approved by the RCMP. And so no later than the end.
So now the RCMP also is now going to be able to decide what new guns come into Canada are allowed and not. So the RCMP, our version of the FBI, just has total control over all guns and any legalities with them. And just at a whim, arbitrarily, for no reason at all, with no oversight, can do this. This is how it is.
Okay,
I guess that's basically it there.
What are we doing in Canada, guys? What the fuck is going on, dude?
Okay, let's not go there just yet.
Oh, no way. Let's go.
So, we have the return of CBC Marketplace. Let's go to the Trudeau-Trump folder, actually.
Okay.
And we also have a documentary about the Jasper wildfire, because that was a crazy story, and I wanted to get some more context. So let's start here with Trudeau-Trump at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
So we see here the humiliation ritual. Trudeau was summoned down to Mar-a-Lago. Trump snapped his fingers, demanded Trudeau get down there. Trudeau, like an animal, obediently responded. Trump's dabbing. You can know Justo's trying to smile, but it's a big time cold face. You know? Now at this dinner, here comes Doug Ford. But again, I'll just repeat. At the dinner, they forced Trudeau to sit next to people who hate him, that publicly criticize him and support Pierre, and he had to go along with it. Here comes Doug Ford. Doug Ford, basically with tears in his eyes, is going to cry about Trump felting us.
No. Oh, man. Okay.
What I found unfair about the comments is to compare us to Mexico.
Wait, what did he say?
No.
Compare?
Is to compare us to Mexico.
He goes, what I found unfair about these comments is to compare us to Mexico.
Well, we become the Mexico of the North. We really have.
Because we brought in all these Indians and it's over. It's fucking over.
Fuck.
Doug, this is how far we've fallen. They're comparing us to Mexico now.
Even he's like, really?
He's like, this
Mexico?
is an insult. Like, Mexico? They don't even have fucking clean tap water. Ethan Ralph lives there. What are you talking about?
Isn't that fully mask off, though? It's just like, listen, Mexico's a shithole. Like, like,
don't
be
compare
racist
us to them.
Don't be racist. Don't be this. Don't be that. But listen, we're not Mexico, okay?
And I can tell you, Canada is no Mexico.
Whoa!
The fact that even has to be said is like, retard alert. Retard. Like, God have mercy. We're actually having to say this shit now.
Listen.
Canada is no Mexico. How far have we fallen? How far have we fallen? Even a discussion at this point. Bring it up, Ralph Dub. It's over. It's over.
We do approximately, just Ontario alone, $500 billion of two-way trade. I found his comments unfair. I found them insulting.
This is so felted, bro. Like, you can smell the felt off Doug.
Have you ever seen his face at this angle?
Bro, he's fucking shook, bro. Look at how he's gonna shit his pants, bro. Like, we're so fucked.
It's like a family member stabbing you right in the heart.
It's like a family member stabbing you in the heart.
Oh my God.
Bro, like, can we play the victim any harder here?
Spent a lot of time in the U.S., and I have yet to talk to one American that has any issue with Canadians.
Well, Doug, our audience might beg to differ because there are a lot of these motherfuckers in our audience who want Canada to suffer. Awful Canada.
Yeah, exactly. But by the way, it's like when you're there, people are nice to you to your face. It's online where people open up and give the real truth.
The real fuck Canada.
It's like,
we see drugs flow from Mexico coming up through California, in through BC, into Alberta.
So I love how our solution is now to throw Mexico under the bus to save ourselves.
Listen.
Meanwhile, we're supposed to be this tolerant and loving country. And we're like, these illegals, they're bringing crime. They're rapists.
Yes.
And some of them, basically, we've now adopted
it's
Trump
your
rhetoric.
fault because
it's your fault, Mexico.
Through California. Just saying, like, he's blaming America for not dealing with Mexico harsh.
Into Ontario, and what we need to do is take that threat seriously.
Okay, let's whoa. He's like sweet, like deflection.
Conversation with the Prime Minister after he spoke to President-elect Trump last night. The threat is serious.
Like his phone call is so we're fucked, right?
Yeah. You can tell, like, there's no hope or optimism here. It's basically like playing the victim.
I know
How
we're
could
laughing,
this happen
but
to us? Woe is me.
Scary.
Well, we're gonna get fucked. Like, it's over. It's over.
We're gonna have to raise the goal.
There's no goal that's gonna be high enough to fix what's coming. Like, it's over. Like,
better on our borders. We need to give the resources to CBSA, which are fine people. And I know, talking to other premiers last night, that we will do everything we can as provincial governments and territorial governments to secure our borders.
Well, that's not what we're talking about, but okay.
All right, here comes Harrison. Poor Harrison, bro. Harrison feels so betrayed.
It doesn't seem
he feels
that,
so snaked by Trump, bro. Listen to this.
Within 2 months, solving this crisis is even possible. The decisions that need to be made are ones that run completely contrary to Justin Trudeau's long-standing agenda on immigration. It will have to.
Can we just ship them all? Okay, never mind.
Bring about a
I gotta be careful with what I say.
complete reversal of thought.
Oh, it's about a cruise ship. It's about a cruise ship.
Well, no, like, I don't know. Like, can't we call for deportations at this point? Like, we're talking about, and this is where the shit's going to hit the fan.
It's a red alert.
We have 500,000 people as of January 1st who are going to be in Canada illegally. They're going to be trying to cross over into the United States.
Yep.
And so it's actually going to become a real problem. It's going to be a serious problem, and the attitude needs to change. Justo needs to figure it out.
We need to just stop it.
When it comes to immigration, if we are to achieve what Donald Trump is asking us to achieve. And I also think that the idea that we should be penalized to the same extent that Mexico is penalized over fentanyl and
Harrison.
immigration.
This is we're getting penalized like Mexico. Buddy, poor guy. He's rooting for Trump. He's like, I'm a conservative, bro. Trump comes in his first thing, swinging his dick around. Yeah, I'm gonna felt Canada especially. Canada will suffer. We're gonna cripple their economy. We're gonna destroy their nation.
You know what, though? I'll say this. Although it's scary, whatever, I will make it. But maybe Canada needs this to learn.
Well, that's the... People need to be taught a fucking lesson in this country. People are just
it needs to be harsh.
Business as usual. People need to wake the fuck up.
1 million new immigrants a year, 1 million new brown people a year. Maybe this will be and they're going to blame Trump, but it doesn't matter who you fucking blame. This problem was getting worse and worse no matter what would happen, even if fucking Kamala won. And maybe Canada needs an actual crisis to be okay, we have to change everything. From the top on down. Change everything. Maybe we need this.
Third, there's something else going on.
Also, Ash, you think Indians are going to want to move here anymore? After this happens?
I mean, probably.
I don't know.
It's still better than India. I mean,
that
but
is
the
true.
thing is, it's becoming India. So it's we'll see.
On here, I think.
My barber and I were having a new lady I went to, right? And her and I had the most base conversation. She's like, I moved here from Slovakia, or whatever the fuck she said. She goes, I didn't think I was moving to India. I'm like, based. We had this great con, but even she's whispering in my ear while cutting my hair.
Perhaps a way to bully us into accepting a word.
Or she's like, I take public transit, and I go, that must be a nightmare. She's like, you don't understand.
First deal at a trade renegotiation. But this is just ridiculous.
I'm not kidding.
Yes, we have a problem. A terrorist is 10 times more likely to cross into the United States from Canada than from Mexico since 9/11.
That's bad. Isn't that crazy? That terrorists are 10 times more likely to cross from Canada into the United States than from Mexico into the United States?
Yeah.
I wonder why that would be, right? It couldn't possibly be that we imported all these Palestinians, Muslims, by the truckload. Couldn't be that. No.
Truckload? I would say one of those giant military
an aircraft
planes.
carrier? Aircraft carrier load, really.
We've been told by Trump's incoming border czar. We know that there are a significant number of known or suspected terrorists who have entered the U.S. illegally from our country. We've not been a good neighbor when it comes to the border, but we are a good neighbor when it comes to exporting energy to the United States. In fact, they rely on Canadian energy. So I really don't know.
The threat now is you want your power there, Trudeau?
Why? Listen to Trump.
Oh, sorry,
we have the hydroelectric dams, and we'll turn them off if you don't stop felting.
Is our world going to be... Am I playing Fallout for training? I'm playing Fallout now to train for the future.
We are being treated the same way Mexico is being treated. A country, in my opinion, that is not a friend of the United States.
Well, and it's a completely different relationship.
Look at how
between Canada.
Fucking this version of Jarbo, both of them are just buck. Look at them, all three of them are in various stages of felted. Two of them's eyes are completely closed. because they can't even bear to see the reality that they have to live in.
This is Matt Jarbo. This is Matt Jarbo. You're actually right. This is Matt Jarbo.
In the U.S., like,
and he's the brave stalwart with his eyes open. You know, look at how sad they're. Like every frame is like a new, like suffer Canadians. They look so scared. They look so scared.
The world over,
Our country's about to collapse, and you're laughing. You're laughing.
Yeah, as you're saying that, I hear police sirens outside. It's like, oh no. It's like I'm laughing out of fear.
The two countries that have, I would say, the most collaborative relationship, both in terms of policy and in terms of our economy. So
it's
just
over.
Ontario, I believe, does $5 billion worth of trade with the United States. So, that's 10 times
$5
more
billion
than
a year.
Yeah.
It's not that much, is it?
No, it's really not.
That's nothing. What the fuck?
It's not really that much.
It's not that much.
It's like we're gonna get crushed like a fucking bug on the windshield of a fucking 18-wheeler semi.
Yeah.
Kind of ties in with where we're gonna be going in the marketplace.
Some of the other trade deals we have with individual countries around the world. So that's the important relationship that we have with the United States. As for
I know we say this a lot, but this guy has to shave it off.
He needs to let it go, doesn't he? Like, it's just going on cooked. I think it's like to the point where it's like, let's get this guy a hat. I don't know what to do for him, man, because if he shaves his beard, he's going to look like a human fucking worm.
Yeah.
Like, he has, like, no jawline. It's just totally fucked. His hairline's gone. Fucking grayed out. Fucking glasses looking bum. Let's move on. Okay, now we have Pierre. Pierre, like, this is where you realize it's totally over. Just look at his face.
No.
Look at his face as he begins the press conference. And, like, our leaders have just given up. Like, our leaders are like, we're so fucked. Alrighty, this is brutal.
President Trump yesterday made an unjustified threat of a 25% tariff on our already weak and shrinking economy. Justin Trudeau and
the gulp he just gave, bro.
Dude.
He swallowed, bro.
I might move, dude. I'm planning the move.
There's nowhere to go. We're fucked. We can't get out of here, bro. We have no skills.
Well, listen.
We have no education.
I can get no. Well, I'll still stream.
Oh, you're going to the
Portugal.
Azores.
I'm going to the Azores.
Yeah, you're going to the Azores.
I have a birthright for an easy.
Go to the Azores, buddy.
Honestly, it's time.
You might need to get out.
Honestly need
Look at Pierre, bro. Pierre, when he swallowed that fucking gulp after that first sentence was brutal.
I think it's time, dude.
Chrystia Freeland, we're surprised. Amazingly, everyone else knew something like this could be coming because President Trump had been talking about it for years on the campaign trail. Yet 20 days ago, Chrystia Freeland said, "Don't worry, Canada will be fine." Apparently, neither she nor Justin Trudeau.
By the way, they've been saying we're going to be fine for like 5 years. It's not
Things
fine.
are not. It's not fine. It's not
fine. It's the meme with the dog in the burning house.
Everything is fine. Everything's okay. No.
Following what the incoming president was saying. And now we must take account and we must be honest with our unprecedented weakness. After 9 years of Prime Minister Trudeau, our GDP is smaller than it was when he took off. Per capita is smaller than it was when he took office. In fact, our per capita GDP has dropped more than any other G7 country since the year before COVID. We have the most indebted households. We've had the worst housing inflation. A quarter of our people are in poverty. 2 million people line up in food banks. Food prices have risen 37% faster in Canada than in the United States.
When you say it this fast, it's brutal.
It's like point after point after point after point. This is like he's like a fucking like biblical prophet, like Jeremiah. He's like a fucking doom crier. Hear ye, the nation will fall. God is punishing us for our wickedness. We must repent, but even our repentance won't be enough. Hear ye, the nation is going to fall. Like, this is seriously what's going on. This is like a biblical prophecy. It's like Jeremiah. It's like, listen, I am the man of sorrows. Shit is felt it. It's going to get way worse. There's nothing we can do, even if we repent. Oh, bite the pillow.
America. Our economy is teetering on the brink of collapse. Now we face this renewed threat. We need a plan. A plan to put Canada first.
Okay,
on the economy.
Here it is. I don't mean to sound racist. I'm just going to say that out loud first. We have to deport every immigrant from the last 3 years gone. You need to leave. You need to leave. Everyone. You gotta go. You need to leave.
You gotta go.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Like,
Everybody's
seriously,
gotta go.
everyone. Listen, I'm sorry. Try again in 5 years. You gotta leave. Like, we're in crisis. We're in crisis. Like this is like an actual, like, you know, when you're.
Thing is, there were so many opportunities to pull up. And at this point, it's probably too late to pull up.
Yeah.
And we just have to ride this shit out, white knuckle. The Canadian dollar is going to 50 cents US.
Yeah.
To be real, it's already at 67 cents to the US dollar.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brutal.
Economy and on security. Justin Trudeau must put partisanship aside. Not just for the sake of Team Canada, but for the sake of our people, and fully reverse his liberalization of drugs. Ban them, prosecute those who traffic.
Yes. Okay. First, do that. Make it, if you're found with crack, you're in jail for 5 years minimum. Then remove all the Indians from Canada.
How about we just start taking some things from the Muslims that we brought here and just start cutting their hands off?
Yeah.
How about we do that?
We need to do something, guys.
In them, secure our borders against the illegal importation of fentanyl ingredients.
If you haven't been in Canada for longer than 10 years, you are not allowed to receive food from a food bank. How about that?
Papers, please. I don't know. Like, nobody really wants to. Nobody really wants to live in papers, please. But it might actually be time to live in papers, please.
It's time for papers, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put people.
You have to have your passport on you at all times, right? Like no more just regular driver's license. You now need your passport with you in your pocket. And if you're not allowed outside.
You're deported.
Yeah.
You're deported.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And treatment and recovery to bring our loved ones home.
We're going to have to start chipping people.
I don't know what we're going to have to do.
To see if you're Canadian, you know?
Listen, there's a really simple solution. It's just everybody who's from India has to go. I mean,
even if you were born here. Even if you were born here.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you. The country is gone. Gone.
Drug free. That is necessary.
We have to discontinue Uber. I know this is bad for us.
We're gonna start.
However,
we have to shut down Uber,
because
Tim Hortons, McDonald's,
everywhere,
Subway.
Everywhere they work.
All Circle K's must be closed at once.
It's all got to be automated robots at the Circle K. Like it's like a vending machine gas station style. Like anywhere.
We're on the corner of Cope and Hope. None of this is going to happen.
Bro, if they shut down Uber, 5 million Indians lose their jobs. Like for real.
Necessary now more than ever. Look,
so glum.
President Trump.
You're supposed to be the brave guy for us.
You know, it's like listen, this is our leader is like just completely broken. Like, what am I gonna?
Please tell me Trump's gonna be the. I was kidding.
What's fucked up is he's gonna come in exactly as the collapse hits, and he's gonna be blamed for everything.
Yeah.
And he'll be remembered as like the evil piece of shit that destroyed everything, and Justo will come back in 5 years.
Sorry, 1 sec. There you go.
Has the right to put his workers and his nation's security first.
You're right, though, by the way. Yeah, sorry. You're right. He's fucking, it's over. It's over.
I will put Canada's workers and Canada's security first. We need a prime minister with the strength and the smarts, the brains and the backbone to stand up for this country, to rebuild our...
Can there be, like, not a revolt, but like a vote to vote Trudeau out early now?
There could, well, he already tried another motion of non-confidence, but I don't think it's going to work.
Oh.
I mean, there could be an election, like, immediately. Like, we could, like, just have the government fall, have an election, bring in the Conservatives, and have them negotiate with Trump.
Yeah.
And that we would probably get a much better deal. Because I think with Trump now, it's like personal with Justin, and he wants to make an example of him. It's part of the revenge tour. Because Justo talks so much shit about Trump and, you know, compares Pierre to Trump all the time. And I just, it's an easy win for Trump to just come in and be, okay, well, I'm just going to crush you like the cockroach that you are. Psh. We really don't have a fucking leg to stand on. We're just going to get fucking run over.
Yeah.
He's not playing around anymore. This isn't like the first term Trump where he's bumbling and doesn't really know what the fuck's going on. Like, seems like he's got his shit together this time and he's coming for blood. So I would really like it if we could get rid of Justin, but he's not going to go. He's not going to go. He still has another year. He has till next October.
We're done.
So... yeah, we're done.
Next October? I thought it was the summer.
No, he really stretch it all the way till October if he really wants to.
Security, our military, and
There's
our
no
economy.
hope.
That is what I will do.
Okay, so then we go to the next one.
Oh, I'm sure it's short, but I'm sure it's bad.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau should become its governor. Right.
Look at his smile, this fucking... Look at him.
Oh, no. Humiliation ritual alert. Humiliation ritual alert. Like, it's just brutal. Trump, right to his face, tells him it's becoming the 51st state. You're being demoted to governor, buddy. But after this meeting, what did we get? Did we get any guarantees that we wouldn't get felted or any promises or concessions?
Probably.
Let's hear from the government. What did we get for going through this humiliation ritual at Mar-a-Lago, where our prime minister was seated next to people who bullied him, and the president told him that he was going to take over his country? What did we get?
Prime
Did we
Minister's
even
trip.
get coupons at fucking Bennigan's?
Freezies.
Did we get gumballs? Like, this is like the Canada on Strike episode of South Park. Like, did we even get the coupons to Bennigan's or the gumballs this time? What did we get?
To Florida to meet with President-elect Donald Trump has not alleviated any pressure he's facing from politicians in Canada to increase defense spending and do more for border security. CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports.
Calls come on the heels of Trudeau's surprise meeting with Donald Trump on Friday at Mar-a-Lago to discuss Trump's threat to slap a...
Look at this fucking picture.
25% tariff on Canadian imports unless his border concerns are addressed. While talks were positive, sources tell CTV News Canada has not been given any assurance tariffs can be avoided right now, despite the government promising.
No. This
All right,
fucking imagery, this imagery is really fucking something. The Canada flag
It's
beneath,
lower. It's lower
beneath
than the
the
US. Like, look, it's just so cooked. It's so cooked, bro.
The imagery is like really telling. It's like when they put a snake in Survivor before someone is snaked.
additional investments at the border.
We're going to be very visible so that it's seen that not only we've done the work, but that we can deploy quickly.
Ottawa has faced pressure from provinces too to strengthen the border. But premiers have also pushed the Prime Minister on another Trump priority, defense spending sooner.
That's the next thing President-elect Trump will say. You need to meet your 2% NATO commitments, and he's right.
Ford says the Prime Minister did not commit to accelerating defense spending.
And opposition leader Pierre Poilievre didn't specify today either, when asked if elected, how quickly a Conservative government would meet NATO.
How could a prime minister do like wrong shit in every aspect of their job?
This might go down as the worst prime ministership in history
of like the world, almost. Besides
really
like dictators who kill people.
It's pretty bad. Okay, so now to add insult to injury, if we go up to the top folder, Canada versus Mexico, Mexico is now dunking on us. Mexico says Canada wishes it had its cultural riches amid tariffs feud.
Ooh. Okay.
It's never been this over. It's never really been this over. Mexico's president has said Canadians can only wish they had the cultural riches of her country as tensions out between the two nations. The U.S. president-elect threatened last week to apply devastating tariffs of 25% on all goods and services from both countries and to keep them in place until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all illegal aliens to stop this invasion of our country. Since then, both Mexico and Canada have worked to gain assurances from Trump that the tariffs, which would prove catastrophic to their economies, would be walked back. But in an effort to gain an upper hand, both leaders have worked to cast the other as ill-prepared to meet the challenges.
Oh my God.
Amid warnings from experts that Trump loves to divide and conquer. So Trump is now playing us off against Mexico. It's insane. We're fighting each other for his favor as he just watches as our bargaining position weakens. Because if we stick together on this, we might get a better deal.
You know what this is like? This is like when you're playing Risk and two players battle one player, then the one player starts to fucking win too badly. So then both players break their alliance and fuck each other over. I swear I'll help you, dude, if you don't kill me off first. No. Mexico at 2. Mexico.
I think that's basically it. That's basically it for here. The next one.
It's very much.
We are not going to fall for a provocation of which country is better, she said. Well, you just did. You said that Canada could only wish they had the cultural riches Mexico has. And then Canada's foreign minister says, there are many conversations when it comes to diplomacy that are better when they remain private.
Did Ralph win?
This is, I don't know, guys. It might be over. Ralph might have actually, in the long run, won. Okay, so we both have a serious fucking issue with truckers on the road.
Yeah.
Truckers, it's a necessary part of our infrastructure to get products and supplies and keep society running. But truck drivers are driving fucking 18 wheels of fucking mega death. Okay? Like, if they crash into you, you're done.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking
die.
Fine. And we've seen on the 401, these motherfuckers not just running 2 lanes wide. I fucking saw them this week in front of me, 3 lanes wide. 3 fucking lanes wide.
Bro, remember our road trip?
Stay in the furthermost fucking lane.
Bro, our road trip.
We nearly fucking died. We've told this story a few fucking times.
It wasn't just that one part, though, but go
crazy
ahead.
Bastards are fucking playing chicken at 3 in the fucking morning, like high on fucking meth. So what they're doing is there's like fucking a lineup of 4 trucks, and the trucks are like passing each other, and each time they pass each other, they come closer and closer to crashing. So it's like, who can come the closest without crashing? They fucking touched and they fucking wobbled. And it's like, is this shit about to go sideways?
Oh, I was driving.
And we
at that
nearly
point, right?
fucking died. Yeah.
I let my foot off the gas. Remember, I'm like, oh my God.
It's a serious danger to public safety if truckers aren't properly trained to do their fucking jobs. And what has happened now in Canada, we require truckers to be licensed, but the Indians that are coming here are scamming the licensing process. So now we have like just unhinged terror on the fucking roads. Have a look at this CBC marketplace investigation.
But it wasn't just that one point. Remember how on that road trip, remember how stressful it was when a truck was behind us, right? Remember they were like so fucking, they'd get so close, ready to fucking run you off the road. And you had to go like left and right. Sometimes they would drive in between you. Bro, holy fuck that. That was I think we almost died on that thing like 3 times. Like there was 3, like we should have died at that point.
Oh, this is your marketplace.
That trip made me hate truckers with a passion, by the way. Like,
it's testing day in Brampton, Ontario.
No!
In Brampton! In Bramladash, buddy! It's testing day. Melt truck training school, because they're going to melt your fucking little shitbox car when they run you right off the road.
I thought it said felt.
The felt truck.
And today?
You can start today. With no experience driving and no training, you can start. Do not worry, sir. You can start today. Do not redeem. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Have you ever tried reversing an 18-wheeler?
No.
Okay, so I play Truck Simulator. I can't even do it. Like, it's so hard. Remember we pulled that trailer once? And we couldn't figure out the reverse like angle for the fucking that one little driveway. But now, throw in an 18-wheeler. It's not easy, guys.
Proper training can cost more than...
By the way, Indians can barely drive cars.
You know what I mean? This is getting insane, dude.
There's like an actual, it's not even like fake. So as you all know, Brampton has about 90% population from fucking East Asia, India, okay? And the insurance, when you get insured in Brampton, it's like 20% more than anywhere else in Ontario because there's so much accidents.
Yeah.
So, like, just put that into perspective, folks. He released this to the police officers and just arrest them immediately? Like, put them all in jail?
The police won't arrest them. The police are fucking overburdened dealing with all sorts of crazy shit. All the drug addicts, crackheads, fiends. They have no time to deal with this, and they have no desire to deal with it because we have two-tier policing where old stock Canadians, white Canadians, do get arrested for crime, but immigrants to this country do not. That's the country that we live in now. So nothing will ever be done about this. And it's a serious danger.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a serious danger to public safety. Like, everybody needs to drive on the fucking highway in this country, pretty much.
Yeah, you do.
Most people are commuting on the 401 every fucking, at least in the GTA.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, or the QEW. And this shit is a rampant problem, man. You're not going to survive a crash with one of these fucking 18-wheel. It's not going to happen. Where they're going to do their test, what they'll be tested on. See, because most places that do the test, they do it their own way. And you're not supposed to know what you're going to be tested on because you need to know everything.
Yeah.
Well, they'll tell you, you're doing your test in Peterborough, they do SBAC. So this is what you're going to... This is insane.
Yeah.
So all they need to trained on is how to do the S-back. They don't need to know anything else. So if they just get that one maneuver down, then they're totally licensed to be on our fucking roads.
Truck.
By the way, have you noticed every episode it's just Indian people on videos now?
Well, yeah, because this is what's going on. The amount of fraud that's going on is obscene.
Mm-hmm.
It's scam after scam after scam, fraud after fraud after fraud. And it's all people from fucking India. Now, there are Chinese people doing it too, but even the Chinese are made to blush at the level of scams these are, man.
Everything makes sense now. When I see truckers now, it makes sense.
It does. Well, dude, I've worked with them, and I'm telling you, it's now like, I would say, because the typical image you have of a trucker is like, howdy, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm here to deliver the load. Well, that's about 20% of truckers now.
Yeah.
And I would say another 20% are Eastern European, and now about 60% are Indian. And that's
wild.
Yeah, like when I was checking these guys in all the time, like they were almost always Indian or Eastern European, like from Poland or some shit. It was like insane. And like there would very rarely be a normal Canadian, like. Oh my God!
So it's not even government run?
Why even have fucking licenses anymore then?
Yeah. Because the private can do however they want. They can do
they don't give a fuck. They're just gonna process people for cash.
Yes.
Especially when they're all Indian, like it's full on nepotism. It's like, oh no, this can't be. Like, no, you can't just say that. Like, they definitely will keep the same standards in place. No, they won't. No, they won't. It's not like white people where we just screw each other over and fucking actually have standards. They just give each other a pass. That's what they do. Fuck.
Buddy. Oh my God. So now as the instructor, you're incentivized to give a pass no matter what.
Yeah.
Or then you don't pass your, holy shit.
That leads
and just think about this is the levels of corruption that we know about that are on the mainstream news now.
Yeah.
Because it's so blatant it can't be hidden anymore. Every single aspect of Canadian life has been corrupted like this.
Yeah.
It's just open bribery and fraud everywhere you look. Doesn't matter what industry. Insurance, everything.
Yep.
Like healthcare, everything is being corrupted like this. And the country used to be so high trust and was designed for systems for high trust people that would follow the rules. Now we've introduced a population from a low trust society that's going to take every single advantage, fraud, and scam it absolutely can. And we're just unable to deal with it because the systems were never designed to have a population this fucked.
It's wild. Thank you. I wasn't lying.
Yes.
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
They can't do that. You can't tailgate as a truck.
Everybody is dealing with this. This is the thing. This is one of these like silent issues that doesn't get a lot of coverage. I'm glad it's finally getting some media coverage, but that everybody is dealing with and everybody is complaining about. Everybody has to use these roads. Everybody has to use these highways. And we have these lunatics, completely unsafe, untrained, unchecked, just driving like fucking maniacs and killing people.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's fucking freaky, dude. Yes. I hate how people don't believe simulators actually help. Like, is it exact? No. But yes, it helps.
Absolutely.
It's better than paying someone $5,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly better than nothing. Is it a replacement for real world driving experience, though? Probably not. You need to be on the real machine in real life scenarios and get that experience too. But
it at least gets you comfortable to okay, now I know the basics.
It's a good primer before you ever get, exactly. And it's safe.
Yeah.
At least nobody's going to fucking die.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't know about this because on the one hand, it is probably making things safer and more compliant. But holy fuck, does this ever suck as an employee when your every single action is monitored and watched and you're treated basically like you're a fucking robot and get micromanaged to this degree? But people's lives are at stake with this stuff. So it's kind of like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's a good idea. Honestly, it's like, police like body cams at this point.
Yeah.
Your hands, the public's life is in your hands. Therefore, you must be filmed while doing it, I get it. It's like the slippery slope. Oh, when do we stop putting cams on people? But like with truck.
If I saw one of those with student driver on the back, I'm off at the next fucking exit. Like, fuck that.
Pull up on the shoulder for like a half an hour, listen to the podcast.
Fuck that. All right.
right.
CBC Marketplace. Now, we have an update.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little mini documentary we're going to play here. It's about 10 minutes long.
Okay.
About the Jasper wildfire situation.
Okay.
So we saw last week on the show that we had a whistleblower say that they were told not to fight the fire. They were not given access to the fire hydrants, not given access to the river. They were told to stand down and let Jasper burn. So we're going to have a look at this in a bit more detail.
All right.
The scary situation unfolding this morning in Alberta.
Update on this fire. It's getting bigger.
There is a wildfire burning south of town right now. 4,700 people in the town of Jasper, and anyone within Jasper National Park have been told to get out.
Knowing the situation, not doing anything about it, is that a criminal?
This is what we did. We talked about this last week, right?
Yeah. But I didn't have enough information about it, so I wanted to grab something to give us more detail. Isn't it?
Yeah. 7 years ago.
Jasper.
Fuck, is that
beautiful
ever beautiful?
Community and a beloved national park in Canada.
The water's so blue.
This summer, Jasper saw a devastating fire engulf nearly a third of the community, leaving 2,000 people homeless and over $1 billion in damages. A wildfire that burned so hot thanks to the pine beetle and dead trees that it simply could not be stopped by firefighters. It reached the town and burned over a third of it, devastating this community, the entire province, and all of Canada.
Where's Mom and Dad's house?
The Liberals immediately placed blame. They said this was climate change. They said we need more carbon taxes to stop fires like this from ever happening in the future.
We've been looking at the Jasper wildfires, and one issue that has emerged is
Never
that
let a crisis
we are
go to waste,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Never let it go to waste. Always use the crises or any sort of disaster to advance your bullshit agenda of taxing people, making food more expensive, increasing the cost of living when everybody's already struggling. That's great. Wonderful.
It's just sad.
Seeing winds, unpredictable winds like never before because of climate change.
Collaboratively to making sure that they have all the
it's never been windy ever in the world until the climate
necessary to
change.
fight the wildfires that are being devastated by climate change.
This is a result of climate change, Mr. Speaker. Climate change.
But the problem is that everything they've said about this fire is a lie. This has been a Liberal failure, and we now have the proof thanks to the work of our Environment Committee.
Lock him
Would you
up.
be willing to table any conversations written down in any way that do back up the claim of what happened behind this closed door meeting? Could you table something that would alleviate my concern that this was, in fact, about political pressure, not about a debate of mechanical use or prescribed burns?
I don't know what could ease your mind, and we do not take notes at my operations team meeting. Full stop.
This is a story about dead trees, political
What do you mean you don't
perceptions,
take
and fear
notes?
to do what is right and necessary to save Jasper.
For the love of...
I want
What
to
the
take a few
fuck
minutes
is
to tell
going
you
on
exactly
there?
how Jasper has been burned by politics.
This is
We brought it up
fucking.
to him. If it goes in town, are you able to handle it? Oh yeah, the fire chief went in there and checked the fire hydrants. They weren't working.
This is Ken Hodges,
Why?
a forester with over 45 years of experience working on the ground. He has been writing letters and blowing the whistle on the failures of Parks Canada and Jasper National Park for the past 7 years.
Pine beetle is a little insect it's about the size of a grain of rice. What it does is it goes after any normally mature pine trees. The female beetle will burrow into a pine tree to the cambium layer where the xylem and phloem are. Within the mandibles of the mountain pine beetle, there is a fungi. And it's the fungi that blocks the xylem and phloem. The xylem and phloem brings the water and nutrients to the tree.
I thought it was fungi.
Yeah, I thought
I mean, he probably knows better than us, but
I thought he was saying fungi,
it's
but
a bunch of standing dead trees. There's about 80 to 100% of the pine that are affected within the landscape. And you've got a sea, 100% killed across the landscape. That if they are ignited under the right conditions, they will be carried and create a massive fire like they did in Jasper.
All this deadwood was caused by a pine beetle. This little insect, this pest. Parks Canada clearly ignored the problem, which led to fallen trees and a whole bunch of deadwood, which was, as outlined by experts, over...
How do you fuck up like this? Like, how do they just allow this shit to happen? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why weren't they out there eliminating these parasites? Like, obviously, I don't know.
You know what I just read here? Apparently, Jordan Peterson just moved to Arizona.
Right.
And he claims that the richest provinces in Canada is poorer than the poorest state in the United States.
It's probably true at this point.
And he goes, if you have any sense, move out of Canada.
Over again to Liberal ministers.
It's over.
Tinderbox.
When Jordan Peterson's telling you.
When Jordan Peterson waves the white flag and fucks off, well, they re-educate him. He's getting the fuck out. Like,
waiting to explode.
Much of the forest is dead or dying. The dead trees are a tremendous fuel load that present a...
They were warned as far back as 2017 that this was the case, and they took no action.
Significant risk to the community of Jasper.
In 2017, we actually wrote two letters to the minister at that time, Minister McKenna. And she finally responded.
They wanted it to
us,
burn.
And it clearly demonstrated their lack of understanding around what situation they had around the mountain pine beetle. And they did not really have an understanding of the potential for a mega fire. How widespread is it in Jasper? Quite a bit. Were they aware of it? Yes.
So Parks Canada knew. The environment ministers knew. They knew this was a risk. They knew Jasper was a tinderbox. So the question is, what could Justin Trudeau's radical Minister of the Environment, Stephen Guilbeault, actually have done? Well, there are three options. The first are what we call prescribed burns, which is getting rid of the
controlled
fuel
burns,
load that is going to create really hot conditions for a fire and potentially put communities at risk. This is where you have a very controlled burn in a specific area that has been done in this country across many others for decades to protect against forest fires. The second is mechanical removal, which is exactly what it sounds like. You pay foresters to go in there and take out the deadwood, and it prevents deadwood from being a heat source, a fuel source for the future wildfire. And finally, the third option, which Parks Canada really never considers, it is the logging. There are billions of dollars worth of deadwood, which forestry industries really want.
This is the thing is we have so much richness, like so many riches in terms of natural resources in this country that for this cucked progressive liberal nonsense, we aren't allowed to harvest. It's like they hate the industry. They hate people having jobs. They'll make up it's native land. It's this. It's that.
Oh my God.
But, if we just allowed them to go in and harvest this stuff, well, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Well, like they said, it was dead trees already.
They're already dead. So,
yeah.
There's three different ways this could have been solved. Now, the real question is this negligence? Is it just incompetence? Or were they malicious with this and they wanted it to happen? The question is, what would be the motive? Is it to push their climate change agenda? Is it to allow companies to come in and scoop up that land in Jasper where the homes burned down? Not really sure what the motive is for this, if it was on purpose. But he's established here that they certainly knew, and they didn't do anything to prevent it.
Yeah.
We could have stumpage fees. We could have taxation on the success of these companies if we allowed them to go in there and take the wood out. So the radical Minister of Environment, Stephen Guilbeault, had 3 options. So what did he choose? None of them. He chose a wildfire. Let me give you some context. Jasper National Park is 1.1 million hectares. Parks Canada cleared a fraction of 1%, a mere 1,700 hectares, and said, that's enough. This will prevent a massive wildfire from engulfing Jasper. And the reason we know this is because we have emails acquired through ATIP that show bureaucrats within Parks Canada having discussions about the political optics of doing prescribed burns, and a debate on whether we should because of the public perception.
This is dead
you
standing
pines.
That's retarded.
Buddy, people are so libtarded on the environment, their brains fall out of their fucking heads.
And then look
it's
what
just
happens.
Insane. Yeah.
And then look what happens.
Easily burnable, hot burning wood
It's
that
like-
there is. And you've done nothing. There is nothing here.
Because ignorant people will go, they're burning trees. Look, they're burning the trees. Because of fucking those mongoloids' ignorance, we're going to allow it to become a massive public safety risk.
Yeah.
Rather than just do what's necessary to minimize risk. Yeah.
It wasn't just a risk, it was a disaster. It was like an actual full-on disaster.
But I do have this.
Burned down people's
I have
homes.
from Jonah Mitchell.
Was it 2,000 homes?
Yeah.
That's
a response to Melanie Kwong at Parks Canada that says, at what point do we make the organizational decision to cancel planned prescribed burns in Western Canada as more and more media articles raise public concern, public and political perception may become more important than actual prescription windows? This is what your organization is doing, and you're not giving them the direction, and that lies with you, Minister. You're responsible for that. Everybody knew this was coming. Everybody knew it, and you were told.
You spoke about wood that
jail
to be removed. We carried out the removal through both prescribed burns and manual removal. I am the first to recognize that we need to do more to protect ourselves against climate change. Unlike the Conservatives who bury their heads in the ground and say that climate change doesn't exist.
No, it sounds like you buried your fucking head in the sand about this because the public perception is more important than the actual prescription to help. Like, that's insane. The public perception is more important than the prescription window. That's crazy.
That's wild.
It has no impact in Canada.
Wild.
I don't think they understood what they had in front of them. They had
wild
such
fucking fire.
huge
Go ahead.
stand
There
of
you
dead
go.
mountain pine beetle. And all of a sudden they've got 30-degree weather, humidity is at 12%. You got winds gusting up to 40 or 50 kilometers an hour. There's your 30, 30, 30. The indices, fire indices have gone through the roof. Now you've got this massive thing. They weren't prepared.
They were warned of the problem. They knew the solution, they chose not to act, and then lightning struck.
There is a wildfire burning south of town right now. 4,700 people in the town of Jasper, and anyone within Jasper National Park have been told to get out.
The fuel load was so high that the fire burned so hot that there was simply nothing firefighters could have done to stop this fire from getting to Jasper. Testimony at our Environment Committee showed that private firefighting forces showed up to protect local businesses, but they were turned away. Not just one or two, 20 separate trucks and over 50 qualified firefighters were turned away. Of those that were allowed in, many realized that when they tried to hook up to the hydrants that Parks Canada had bought, they couldn't. The threading was wrong. They bought
What?
hydrants that didn't match the rest of BC and Alberta.
The threading was wrong to screw in the fucking hoses.
It didn't match every single other hydrant in BC and Alberta. Is that seriously? Like, how can that be possible?
Wait, what?
That's really shady, isn't it?
Yeah.
That every other hydrant across the province is the same, except for this one area where this wildfire happened, where they knew there was issues for like almost a decade and didn't do fuck all.
What?
Some reason.
Oh, sure. Okay, just match up with the cat. We may need one or two, so once I know, I'll let you know. Good. Good. Okay, thanks, Blake.
Where's Mom and Dad's house?
I'm stepping away from the radio for about 5 minutes.
When all was said and done, a beautiful Canadian community had nearly a third of it burned to the ground. 2,000 people were left homeless and nearly $1 billion in damages was had.
This mega fire that occurred in July of this year could have been prevented. So my question would be, who's accountable? So the way I look at it, it's a national park. That's federal government.
Lock them all
Who's
up.
Who's responsible for managing it? Parks Canada. Who's ultimately responsible for this?
Nobody will be ever held accountable.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Directing things. In my books, the minister is at the top of the food chain. He has to take responsibility for all of that. And he blames other parties for it. They've been in power for almost 9 years. Why haven't they done anything before this? They were in power when we set things out and had them become aware of the situation, but yet nothing was done. Once a fire gets rolling, such as the one in Jasper, it doesn't care what political party you're at. It doesn't care what your bent in religion or bent in society is. It's going to burn. It's a natural process. Knowing the situation, not doing anything about it, creating a catastrophic event such as the burning of a community and potentially destroying the ecosystem, is that a criminal act? It drives me insane to hear people playing politics in situations that can become catastrophic, which this one did.
Over the course of this investigation, I think the most damning thing we've learned is that Jasper is still at risk.
I'm Carly Robinson in Edmonton, and now some are warning about the next potential mega fire in the tourist hotspot of Jasper.
It's not just Jasper.
Wow.
It's Banff, it's Lake Louise, and so many other national park communities.
2018 news report saying it's gonna happen, and then it happened fucking 6 years later, and nobody did. That's
how much time do you know?
Jasper got burned by politics. Let's never let that happen.
Fuck yeah.
Nailed it.
When you compare the forest around Jasper to the green
I'm laughing out of
2 years ago in Fort McMurray.
Well,
so what do you do? What do you
That's
fucking?
basically it. I mean,
what do you fucking?
It's pretty crazy situation there. Well, guys, that's it for this week in Cuckada this week.
Hell
we'll
yeah.
be back next week with another one. We appreciate all of you guys staying sub to the Gumroad. We're going to keep getting some new content out for you guys here. And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.